Alright, hello everybody. I'm actually doing a little bit of a different dealio today. Figured I'd give something a spin, and basically what this video is going to be is a drafting for dummies type thing. So if you're kind of new in that lower bracket, or if you just don't like to draft in Captain's Mode in general, this is kind of for you, to just give you an idea of how to play a Captain's Mode game, how to draft for your team in general, because there's a lot of people that just kind of don't quite grasp some of the intricacies to it, and it's something that I really love about Dota, and is pretty unique to Dota in general. I mean, there's picking heroes in League of Legends, but it doesn't quite have the same depth, and you know, I mean, StarCraft lacks it completely. Other games like Counter-Strike, etc., you know, there's nothing quite like the draft of Dota, so it really gets my gears turning in my head, and I love looking at it. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hop into a practice lobby against a buddy of mine here, and I mean, neither him or I are professional players, so you know, it's going to be more of a draft around taste and draft around you know, what we want to do. But basically the idea is that we're going to is that I'm basically just going to show you the process around building a team and building a draft. So first thing you want to do before you head into a game is decide your overarching strategy, your grand idea about the kind of way you want to play the game. Now this can be as general as you want it to be. You can basically say push strategy, or you can say you know, end it in 20 minutes, or you can say, you know, late game 4 protect 1. Anything along those lines. It's just something to kind of give your draft a basic shape, a mold for you to fit it into. So come up with something that you kind of just want this game to feel like. If you want to go really gank heavy, you can just say that as your generalized statement. And we'll hone this down in a second and really get into the game, which will kind of show you how we want to do it. So basically you just kind of want to fit your heroes into that strategy that you've chosen, and really create your draft around that, because there's a lot of heroes that'll fill similar roles, but will do it in different ways, which is why pretty much every hero is somewhat viable. There's some that, like, I mean, Bloodseeker and maybe Pudge, like, there are some that kind of get outshined in certain areas and just don't quite make the cut, but in general, almost every hero in Dota is pickable depending on the scenario. So we're going to get into this, and now as we're loading in here, let me define what I'm going to decide as my broad stroke strategy here. So my strategy, my idea, is early game pickups into a mid game snowball. That's my idea that I'm going into this. So, or early game pickoffs rather. So right now I'm going to be drafting with the purpose of trying to get kills early on and then transition into a mid game snowball. Maybe not a 60-minute carry, maybe not a super late game carry, but you know, get an early advantage that will carry on into the late game. So as we go into this game, we'll start to pick heroes around that, and you know, we'll start to draft accordingly. Now this will also change depending on what he picks, what he bans, what he sees around, what he sees to be a problem. But we'll see how this goes here. So getting into the bans, the first couple bans, usually I'll treat them as kind of meta bans, and I use the word meta ban and meta pick basically just to kind of establish that I'm trying to get rid of heroes that are really strong in the popular meta. So Bristleback is one of those who I kind of got. Now Bristleback is actually a hero that fits into the strategy that I was thinking about really well, so as I was talking I kind of just banned it out of instinct. So I actually should have picked a Bristleback, but as it stands, you know, we'll see in a moment here. But yeah, like I said, so early game pickoffs into a mid game snowball. Now the first hero that I'm thinking of right off the top of my head is the Storm Spirit, and I really like that pickup. So I'll try to draft that as sometime during this. But problem with the Storm Spirit is that he's pretty easily well, he's not easily countered, but he can be countered if the enemy sees it coming way in advance. So I'm going to try to draft it a little later on and get my supports and you know, some less counter-pickable heroes off right out the bat. Now, still banning here, something that can shut me down early on. Let's say, I don't know, let's get rid of a Timbersaw, because Timbersaw, kind of another meta ban, just really strong offlaner, kind of obnoxious to deal with, and, you know, that'll be it. So, anyways, we'll see what he picks out in a second here, but as I'm going through this, like I said, just kind of keeping that broad stroke in mind. And, you know, I don't think there's any possible way that it will come down to me having to say, well, shit, this broad stroke isn't going to work, I have to switch it. You know, if you paint it broad enough in the beginning, you can always work into it. Now, of course, like I said, there are always counter picks that have to be made. There's always bans that will come out and screw you up and things that disrupt your plan. So you're going to have to adjust to everything. Now, he's banned out Darkseer and Invoker, and I think that was more just because he knows that I'm really good on the Invoker and gets rid of the Darkseer. So just kind of a... yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he's very familiar with drafting himself, so we'll try not to put too much weight into what he does here, but just pay attention to kind of how my process of thought is going through this series. Now, so early game pickoffs into mid game snowball. Early game pickoffs into mid game snowball. Now, that's something that would make me really want to pick a very nice aggressive tri-lane. And you know, the way I could do this is a few things. There's a very popular combination right now between the Bane Mirana, but that's starting to get figured out. So I'm thinking I'm going to go something a little less popular. I'll pick up the Crystal Bane right off the bat. Now, Crystal Bane, she doesn't appear to be a very aggressive hero, but if she's comboed up with certain heroes such as Venomancer Jug, which I'm going to try to go for. Actually, I might even go Shadow Shaman. Something like that. Maybe even something more aggressive. I could use a more aggressive support because, like I said, I want to get a mid-game snowball going. And I mean, your supports are never going to snowball, but yeah. Anyways, picks up the Spectre right off the bat, so not too worried about that. That's kind of a late-game hero that will play perfectly into my strategy. So now, let's see if I can snatch up that other support here. So like I said, I do think I want to go for like some sort of a Juggernaut tri-lane, because Juggernaut's a really strong mid-game carry, especially if he gets a good amount of farm under his belt, if he can get that quick Aghanims up or something along those lines. He's just a very strong hero in general. So what I'm going to try to do here is pick up something that will combo well with him. Crystal Maiden does already, but something like the Shadow Demon, or maybe not Shadow Demon, Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman, Lion, even like a Vengeful Spirit or a Rubik or something would be okay. I think, actually Lion would be a really good pickup here. Lion's a really good pickup because he's got a lot of burst in the mid-game, he's got a lot of utility, and between levels 8 to 15 he's just incredible. 16 I guess when he gets to level 3 ultimate, but yeah, that's kind of his sweet spot. So he does really well at those levels, and I think he would combo well up with my Trilance. So I think the idea is, I think I'm going to grab the Lion right off the bat. So I've got my two supports out of the way, and he still doesn't quite know what I'm going to go for here. Now, I mean, an experienced drafter might see that and go, okay, well, he's going aggressive, what kind of hero is he going to go for? Maybe a Juggernaut, maybe a Nyx, but you can't ban out every possibility with the two bans that he has. I mean, Nyx would work well with these supports, a Juggernaut would work well with these supports, even like a Faceless Void, a Morphling, anything would really work well in this position. So I'm setting myself up for versatility with these first couple picks, and supports don't really tell a lot. I mean, having a Lion is kind of unorthodox, and so you can kind of tell it's going to be a little strange, but I mean, if I were to go for something a little less surprising, something along the lines of the Alchemist or the Shadow Shaman or something like that, you know, it would be a little bit harder to tell what I'm going to go for. Now, I'm going to pick Lion. So, as I said, like I said, I'm setting myself up for versatility. I still haven't picked any of my cores, which means that his next three bans are going to have to either address my carry, my mid laner, or my off laner, which makes it really hard to ban in those segments here. Now, he's shown me his carry and his support, so now I have a hint at what his support lineup is going to be like. So with a Rubik and a Spectre, it looks like he's going to be really safe. So let me ban out Bane. And, you know, Bane may not have been the best pickup. I think Venomancer actually might have been a better ban there, which I might actually still ban out. But essentially it gives me space to analyze what he wants to do with his drafts. Now, like I said, he's shown me his carry, he's shown me a support. Now, he's got a mid laner, a support, and an off laner left to pick up if he indeed wants to go for a traditional 3-1-1 lineup. I mean, he could always still go dual lanes, he could always go a jungler, he could always do something else, and jungler is still a very good possibility with the Rubik Spectre. It's a pretty safe lane in and of its own, and you know, if I'm not pressuring him too much, which I will be, jungling would be okay. But I think he's going to want to try to dodge this lane because there's not much that he can pick up at this point in time that will really make him safe against my aggressive try. He's actually running really low on time here. I'm not sure what he's up to here, but anyways, let's keep an eye on this, see what happens. Is he just not there?
Seconds remaining.
Is he just what? Okay, he hands out a warlock. I think he's a little dumbfounded by my picks, hopefully. But yeah, anyways, let's throw the ball back in his court. Now that's actually another important thing to note about drafting, is time management as well. If you can get the ball in your opponent's court and then think about your next pick while they are picking, it gives you a good opportunity to rally it back at them and make them lose bonus time. And if they get down to a position where they are like that, that can be really scary. So anyways, looking at another support for them, I think I am going to ban out the Venomancer because Veno, another very safe lane support that would mess me up if I tried to go aggressive on him. So I'll get rid of that. So now he's only got a few options left for another support. None of them are really good. I mean, he's got a Jakiro maybe. He's got like Dazzle, which would actually be really good. I didn't think about that. He's got Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon, etc. But I don't think he's got any optimal choices that will really disrupt my decision here. So he's got the pick now, and I'm still going for this strategy. Like I said, I want to go for early game pickoffs into mid game snowballs. So now I'm going to pick my carry. He does pick an Earthshaker, which I actually really like. That's really safe. So now I'm going to head into. I think it's going to be a Juggernaut pick. I could go Nyx as well. Maybe better. Yeah, I think the Juggernaut is the right choice here. I'm gonna go for the Juggernaut. Now, like I said, you can never really. There are so many heroes in Dota that all can fit into similar roles. They're not the same, but they can fit into similar roles. And so in this scenario, Nyx and Jug are very interchangeable. Now, that's not to say that they are interchangeable in any or all circumstances. I mean, they're two incredibly different heroes, but you see what I'm saying, is that they kind of fit in this tri-lane together. So now I've established that I'm going to go an aggressive tri-lane with this, which means that I'm likely going to be 1v1 on the offlane. Now, he showed me his mid, so it's a good time to pick up my mid hero, and I don't think there's any problem with me picking the Storm Spirit here. I like the Storm Spirit because he snowballs in the mid game well. He gets a lot of ganks, which will help out the tri-lane, and it will help out the offlane. And I think he pretty much beats Death Prophet. I mean, Death Prophet can get the silence off if he needs to, but I think if Storm gets the jump on him, like right at level 6, just jumps in, Vortex attack, Storm would have a decent time against the Death Prophet. So I'm thinking that there's still other possibilities in the pool, but I think that might be the best one right now. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna pick the Storm Spirit. So now I've got a really versatile mid-game lineup. Like I said, this lineup will not beat his at the 60-minute mark. By no means. I mean, if played properly on all accounts and there are no major mistakes made, Spectre beats Juggernaut at 60 minutes, and yeah, Death Prophet and Storm Spirit are probably pretty even that late in the game. But anyways, he's looking towards his last ban here, so he knows I'm missing an offlaner, so it should be a pretty easy ban for him. And actually, he times out here, so he's not quite paying attention. But anyways, yeah, I think he was actually in the middle of playing another game when I asked him to do this, so he might not be all there. But anyways, like I said, emphasis is on my draft, not quite his. So he's got a defensive tri-lane, but not much that I don't think I can deal with. We've got a Storm Spirit for the mid-game ganks, now looking for a offlaner. Now, he's looking for an offlane as well. Looks like he's planning on playing pretty safe with some mildly aggressiveness, so I'm actually going to ban out the Slug. Slug's a very popular pick. He's a good offlaner. He fares really well. So he picks up the Beastmaster. Beastmaster offlane on the dire side. I don't hate that at all. And it offers him a lot of control, especially for the Juggernaut if he's spinning, or the Beastmaster, or if the Storm Spirit is jumping around. So good pickup. I do like that. But now I want to see if I can abuse that offlane, because it is going to be a 1v1 offlane because of the way I've picked this. Now I think Clinks and Weaver are my two top picks here. Both Invis heroes that players have a lot of trouble dealing with. Both very mobile and both very bursty, which will allow, and as well as being ranged. This will give me the opportunity to harass the Beastmaster, because it will be a 1v1 lane against him. It'll give me an opportunity to harass him, to hit him, and basically just give me that snowball into the mid game. So right now, as it's laid out, I do think I've won all three lanes. and I think if this draft were to play out, I would have my goal of early game snowball into mid game dominance. So let's pick up that Clinks, because I really like the Clinks. There it goes. So lots of late game carries here. So now we've got this draft. So this is basically the process. Like I said, you just kind of start with a broad idea. You come into the draft with an idea of what you want to pick, what you want to, or not quite what you want to pick. And I mean, your broad strokes can be anything. I mean, I've had players who said, like, you know, oh, I don't want to do captain's mode because I really want to play this hero. I'm like, fuck it, we'll draft around that hero. So they say, okay, well, I want to play Puck. And I'm like, well, okay, Puck, what's he good at? He's good at AoE control. He's good at making, you know, good pickoffs around the map. So let's pick something along those lines. So what do we have that's good for AoE? Well, we have, you know, we have Darkseer, we have Tidehunter, we have this, we have Ancient Apparition, we have Enigma, we have this, we have that, etc. And you can kind of just build your draft out around that. So we're going to jump out of this. I'm going to do one more draft, and I'm going to show you kind of, guys, how it works once more, and just try to get a feel for this once again. He says redo. Yep, lobby is up. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna jump right back into this. Do one more, and I'm gonna try to get this down again, just so you guys kind of get this idea in your heads of what the drafting is like. And of course, there's always exceptions to everything that I've said here. Everything is always played out differently. You gotta play. Oh. Oh. Cock was my password for my lobby, and he misspelled it. Misspelled cock? Shame on you. Alright, so now, getting into this game, we're going to... Alright, so now getting into this game, what are we going to look at here? So, there's... Alright, so let's try what I said before. Now, this is probably going to be a lot more pertinent to you players who are just getting into drafting, because not a lot of your friends will know exactly how to play every single hero in the game. So let's say you've got limitations on your heroes. Say you have a carry player who only plays 3 carries. Now let's say that's Luna, Lifestealer, and Juggernaut. Let's just actually no. No. Let's set up a different scenario. Let's go. Okay, how about this? How about we just say easy to play heroes? Not necessarily heroes that are, you know, that are player preferences, because obviously I cannot account for every player preference. But let's just say heroes that are simple to play. So no sub abilities, no, you know, major juking abilities, no complex abilities like Rubik's Spell Steal or, you know, anything along those lines. Just simple, straight up 4 ability heroes. Let's give that a try. So let's try to draft around that in its entirety. So getting into this, like I said, meta bans for the first couple, just kind of popular heroes that are obnoxious to deal with. You can't really target your bans with the first couple. So you just kind of have to get rid of the big ones, the big annoying ones that you want to deal with here. So let's get rid of the Bristleback once again, because he's annoying as hell. Nobody wants to play against him. Nobody wants to play him, and that'll be it. So now, considering this draft, there's, like I said, our goal is to pick easy heroes, but we can also have, you know, themes within that. So, you know, this might have been a bad idea to do as a full-on strategy, but let's use that as a constraint, and let's say our full strategy is to go for an AoE wombo. Okay? That seems a little more reasonable. I'm kind of stumbling around myself here, but alright, so easy to play heroes, AoE wombo. That is the goal for this draft. Now, let's see here. So he's banned out the OD. Alright, so bans out the OD. I've got the Bristleback banned already. Let's ban out something that screws with AoE compositions a lot, which is the Clockwork, because he kind of pushes heroes away, Battery Assault, disrupts a lot of channel abilities, it's just annoying. So let's get rid of Clockwork right off the bat. Now this is kind of setting me up for my strategy. This is something that you can do with your first couple bans as well, kind of set you up for your strategy. However, in general, you're not quite always ready for it. So, yeah, let's do this. So, once again, recapping our goals. We want easy to play heroes and AoE wombo. So we're going to be looking to pick up heroes like Earthshaker, like Magnus, like, well, OD if it wasn't banned, Invoker if I wasn't going for easy to play heroes, Treant Protector, Enigma, etc., Tiny, and you know, we just want to make this a an easy to play game, easy to execute, and 5-man strategy. So let's grab the Sand King. This one pops out to me in general just because he's got a lot of AoE. He's a pretty simple hero. I mean, if you want to burrow strike, you click where you want to burrow strike, and then you just go invis and you sit there for a little while. So pretty easy to pick hero, or pretty easy to play hero, and he fits into the AoE wombo strategy as well. He's got a lot of control for a tri-lane, and he's really strong. Now, let's see what else we can make happen here. Let's see what else we can make happen. So we want AoE. So what's a good mid lane? Actually, no. Let's look towards my other support. Now, I'm tempted to say Earthshaker just because of Echo Slam, but that puts us at a disadvantage because we have 2 melee supports, and if we go for a melee carry, that's even worse. So I want to pick a ranged hero with a lot of AoE. Now, he did ban out the Crystal Maiden, which would have been optimal there. She can just drop that ultimate, and it's really nice. But let's instead let's... Ooh. Oh, actually, Ancient Apparition and Enigma are standing out to me right now. I'm liking the sounds of both of them, and I'm not sure which I like better. I'm going to say Enigma, because we'll go for a dual lane. We'll go for a dual lane and a jungle in this game. And we'll just call him a dedicated jungler, and that's how it'll work out. So, now this is pretty telling of my strategy already. He already knows, he should know, that I want to go AoE, because I've got 2 AoE ultimates and a couple big AoE abilities on my team already. So he should ban against this accordingly after his next pick here. As well, he's already got a Warlock, which is going to be a problem for me because it will disrupt a lot of that AoE power. He'll be able to turn it back around. But I think I should be able to deal with that, and we'll see how that turns out. But he's got a Jakiro as well, which fucks it up kind of quite a bit as well. So I'm a little bit worried going into this, but I think we should be okay. Now, he's got a lot of magic damage here, which is a sign that maybe I should be aiming for BKB carriers and or magic immune carries, something like a Juggernaut or perhaps a Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter is actually probably my ideal carry in this scenario. Yeah, we'll see here. Let's see. He bans out to Bounty Hunter. Not quite sure for what reason, but anyway. So now, alright. So I'm going to ban out the Darkseer. Darkseer kind of fits with both of these heroes really well. Vacuum into Ice Path, Vacuum into Warlock Golem. Just huge utility in that hero. So I'm going to get rid of that right off the bat. Something that will disrupt my team fight quite a bit. What else do we got here? What else do we have that can really fuck up? I'm looking at the Faceless Void, actually, because he hasn't picked a carry, and Faceless Void has been showing up a lot lately. Chronosphere will really mess with my draft. So I think that's going to be the idea here. We'll see in just a moment what he bans out, and I think that's probably going to be my ban.
Your turn to ban.
So he bans out the Slardar. I'm not entirely worried about that. Yeah, let's ban out the Faceless Void. Actually, yeah. Faceless Void. Alright, so we'll ban out Faceless. So, 2 purple people gone in this ban here. No, that was the strategy. To hell with purple people. Words of Mitch Hedberg. Now, alright, so looking at my carry, I think it's pretty much set in stone. I don't really care what he picks. I'm drafting for the mid game, for the team fights, and once again, really easy to play hero. Gyro's pretty simple. You turn on Flat Cannon, you sit there, you fight, and you know, you can throw down the barrage and all that, but for the most part, pretty simple heroes. So we've got 3 really simple heroes that work in AoE compositions really well. Now, looking towards my mid laner, I'm gonna have to pick that up in a second. He goes Ricky. Oh, he banned out Bounty Hunter and Slardar. Yeah, I should have figured he was gonna go for something stupid like that. Yeah, that was kind of an oversight on my part. You ban out 2 stealth revealers, and then he picks a stealth hero. Go figure. All right, so now looking towards my mid hero. What do I want to pick? I want to pick something that can offer me a lot of team fight, or a lot of AoE damage, as well as some AoE control. You know, the Enigma is not enough to count on Soul, or so leaf for my AoE control, because Black Hole is just really unreliable. It's a channeled ability. Pretty much a breeze of wind can knock him out of it. So we'll see what we've got here. Now, what are our options? Well, I think Disruptor is one option, but he doesn't really fit in our line. We've got to get a mid hero, and you know, Disruptor is not a fantastic mid. Let's see what else we got. Kunkka, I think, is actually a fantastic idea. Kunkka or Magnus? Now, Magnus is great, but I think, actually, yeah, I don't know. Both of these heroes very, very strong in that same role. They can throw out their ultimates, which is a big AoE stun, but I think Magnus offers us more in terms of that AoE control and initiation. Like, the Kunkka is good, and he offers a little bit more carry potential, but I think the Magnus is the pick I want to take here. Now, let's see. Is there anything else that's better? I was looking at Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend is kind of getting up there in that difficulty scale, so didn't want to take that right off the bat. Both of these heroes pretty easy, and I think Kunkka is actually a little more difficult. So, alright, let's go with the Magnus. So now, I've got the potential for RP into Black Hole, into Flat Cannon Call Down, into Epicenter. So I've got a lot of AoE wombo, I've got a huge team fight on my side, a good carry, a decent lane setup. As well, I'm fulfilling my goals that I set out to draft towards in the beginning. I said, easy to play heroes, AoE wombo, and that's what we've got here. So now he's I've also been banning out according to that. Bristleback was more of just a I don't want to deal with a Bristleback type thing. The Clockwork disrupts a lot of team fights because Cogs will push people out of the way. He hooks into the backline heroes, kind of screws up their combos. Battery Assault would disrupt channeling, etc. So Clockwork's gone. Darkseer's gone because he was looking at a little bit of AoE that would have displaced my team a lot, made it really awkward. Faceless Void, once again, Chronosphere, kind of disrupts the entire team, makes things difficult, gets pickoffs on the backline heroes. So now he's gone for an Alchemist. Not quite sure what he's doing here.
10 seconds remaining.
I actually have no clue what his ban is looking like. I think he's trying to go for an offlane Riki and a farming Alchemist, so I'm going to ban out a mid lane. Now let's see, let's get rid of the... Actually, Death Prophet might be good on my team. Let's keep Death Prophet in the pool for now, and we'll see what I decide to go for later. Actually, Puck. Actually, no, I got a mid lane. I got Magnus. What the fuck am I talking about? Alright. Let's ban out the Death Prophet. Let's ban that out. So that one's gone. Oh shit, I almost ran out of time there. I spent a lot of time talking about that one. Alright, so now getting in this last pickup, like I said. AoE offlaner who can contribute to team fights late. Now, I have no clue who that is quite yet. Let's see in a moment. Actually, Timbersaw. Timbersaw is a really good idea. He's got a lot of AoE damage, and, I mean, he offers the slows, but...
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Alright, so now, I think my two actually, yeah. No, I think Timbersaw is my pickup here. Not seeing anything that stands out as a better choice in my mind. I mean, there's lots of heroes that could just contribute magnificently as in terms of team fight. I mean, like Lone Druid would work. I mean, he's not easy to play, but he can just contribute as a good offlaner. He does a lot of damage, etc. He's a good hero, but he doesn't quite provide that synergy. Now, there's other ones like Beastmaster, who's got a single target stun and some AoE damage, but still not quite as synergistic as I'd like him to be. Now, he bends out that Weaver, and I mean, like I said, there's a million things I could pick here. I could pick Slark, I could pick Clinks, I could pick Bounty Hunter, I could pick Nature's Prophet. I could really pick anything for this offlane, and it would really just come down to preference. But once again, sticking with my overarching strategy, AoE wombo, easy to play. I think Timbersaw is the call. He's got 4 abilities. He's pretty simple. Does a lot of damage. He's really survivable, and he can dish out a ton of damage on top of this AoE. So let's do that. So now I've got 5 heroes, all with 4 soul abilities each. Lots of initiation power, lots of teamfight power, and lots of carry power. And you know, I think I've got the draft that I wanted. Now, you know, any team could any group of 5 could play this team easily, and it's got a lot of synergy. It's got the right roles, and things would work out. So I have a feeling it's that this draft would work out well. Now he grabs a Kunkka, kind of
your hero.
whatever. So once again, that's kind of the process of the draft. So begin with an overarching strategy, ban against that with your first couple picks, or ban against the counters to that with your first couple picks, and then start to move towards it slowly. Aim to pick up your supports early on so that you don't give away your strategy. Now, supports can be very telling. I shouldn't say don't pick your supports early, but supports are generally the ones that will give your strategy away. I mean, you can pick offlaners, you can pick mid. Depending on what you want to go for, just try to pick something that is not too telling, is it's a little more straightforward and whatnot for your first couple picks, and then you can start to broaden things out as you go. Now, aside from that, just pick your stuff up towards the end of it, and you should be good. There's no direct or proper order as to how you should ban. Ban this first, ban this second, or pick this, whatever. It's just kind of a matter of, take what you need, take what you want, and try to be sneaky about it so that they don't ban it up. So that's about it. I hope you guys learned something from this. It's something that I really love about Dota. The draft is a really fun part of the game that I really enjoy. So once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed, and let me know if you did down in the comments below. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys again next time. Cheers.